What kind of camera? Yeah, okay. That's a girl answer, isn't it? What kind of car have you got? A blue one? What kind? What's the connection on the end of it?
And now it's booting up.
What kind of card is in it?
Everything seems to be working okay.
Dara, send it. Bluetooth it to me and I can put it in Bluetooth.
Just ready to start. Make sure everything's working.
It's more than one video though.
That's what we have. People that think outside the box. What? Or think inside the box. Right.
No, we're doing now, sir.
Wait, I need to check what video is working with through.
Right, now we're going to clean the peripherals of the computer. First of all, we're going to clean the keyboard. What we need to do first is we need to get all this crap underneath it. So what we need to do here. So what we're going to do for this is shake it upside down first of all. Give it a good bash. This will get any debris, if you like, out of all the keys and stuff that may be basically just trapped inside the keyboard. As you can see, there's a lot of dust and paper and falling out of it. This could basically prevent it from working if it basically gets too bad. So it really needs to be done. When this is all done, this will get rid of most of the rubbish under the keyboard. Now what we need to focus on is the surface. So what you do is you get a cloth, basically rinse it with water, then wring it as tight as it can be so it only gets minimum amount of water in it. When this is done, just wipe it over the top of the keyboard.
What's happened to you?
This will get any grease, stains, anything like that that's on the keyboard. That will just basically clean it all off. It'll also feel a lot nicer when working with the keyboard and using the keyboard. It also makes it look a lot more newer. Basically looks a lot better, to be honest. And that's basically all you have to do for the keyboard. It's the same sort of thing with the mouse as well. What you can basically do is clean the surface of them. If there's any gunk or anything inside the board, just make sure you get in there, try and get as much out as you can. Also, at the back of the mouse, this is a laser mouse. The only thing that's going to make it stop working is if there's any, dust or basically anything over the lens at the top, so make sure you give that a good clean out as well. As long as it's not a lot of water, it's not really going to damage the mouse, so you don't need to be that careful with it. Give it a good clean. When that's done, that's basically the main two peripherals of your computer which needs to be cleaned to be able to operate on your computer. The other thing is the casing. I've showed you before how to clean the inside of the casing. Now we're going to show you how to clean the outside of it. Again, get a damp cloth. We need to clean the outside of the computer. Obviously before we do this, if we're using damp, wet material, we need to unplug everything from the computer. Otherwise, it's not very safe at all. So what we do is make sure the computer's turned off, switch it off at the mains, unplug all the peripherals, Ethernet cables, display at the back of the computer. This is all done, it's safe, clean, the case. So again, damp cloth. If you don't want a wet cloth, that's obviously just stupid and you don't want to do that, so just give it a wipe over. Make sure you get all the crap, any stains off the computer. And what we do then, you can clean the underneath as well. I mean, it's going to be less mucky underneath because that's the one that's facing the table, on top of the table. It's not really in contact with anything else unless you switch your computer around the wall. So, just turn it over. Give that a good clean too. And if you want, you can clean the front, but be a bit more careful when cleaning around this area, because this part of the computer is where a lot of electronic devices are, and you don't really want to get any water inside them, otherwise it won't work and you just mess your computer up. So be really careful when you're working around this area. Just give it a quick once over basically. Don't get that much water and anything like that. When that's done, put the computer back down. That's it basically. That's how you're going to clean the base unit for your computer. Yep. Right, the last thing we've got to clean on the computer is the monitor. Again, turn the monitor around. If you're not working around this area, there's no need to really unplug anything, but just for safety measures, we're going to unplug the main cable. This is the data cable. So all we do then is we need one wet cloth or damp cloth and one dry one. First of all, what we're going to do is just going to go over the monitor, down the back. Be really careful when you're working down here, because this is where all the internal things can get wet, and if you get water down here, your monitor will just break. It won't work anymore. So be really careful when you're working down these air pockets. Give the monitor a good clean over with the damp cloth. The main area for this is obviously the screen, so give this a good clean. All around the sides. This is where most of the dust collects, right at the bottom, so make sure you get right in there. Also as well, you want to get the buttons good clean as well, because that's where most people's hands are going, not on the screen but on the buttons as well. These can get quite sticky, so give these a good once over as well. When this is done, the damp cloth, you need a dry one to get all the damp residue off. So after this, just go over. Again, just once more, all over the monitor. Obviously, when you're drying it, you want to start from the top to the bottom, otherwise you're just rising the dust which you've just cleaned all the way up again. So, give this a good clean. Make sure you get all the remaining water off. The buttons will be clean. All around the casing again, once more. And after that, all we have to do is plug the power back in. And plug all of the cables back into the computer and turn it back on. And that's how you clean your computer and your peripherals.